Good evening, good viewers. I'm your host Emax97. Welcome back to our second episode. I would like to take this moment before taking you through our second episode to thank you guys at home for your support. Keep up with the love. Continue to subscribe, to share, and tell your people out there to share us so that they can see what we have for you. So in today's episode, I have a special guest for you. Tatiana Taberramelete Mosaidia Tourism. He's the best guide in our village. Nata, the most experienced man, Mr. B. I would like to take this moment to also introduce my ghost guest, by the name of Mr. Carter. So, ke ghost, ke Casper the ghost. Na le mone da, mara le ta muntu, ke mono ta bona lang ka mahoko aga ba re ta uta mo studio today. Kumalate guys. Mr. Boile.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you very much. Welcome. The most experienced man. I would like to give this moment to you. And now I know we introduce it. I don't know what I can't
All right, no, thank you for having me, my brother. As he have said, I'm Mr. B from Travel with B Agency. I'm born and bred in Nata, peculiarly in Sikitikiti. Sikitikiti, monane lo kota na ile oring, enele monate blind rebe banyane. So it was just a cluster of young guys who were helter-skeltering.
Yana bo helter skelter ka ntle ba yana mo no gontse yang go to ba riana ka Setswana ka no rena le mosadi mogolo go mangota go ta ba ipotsa re helter skelter ano nka rano khaola di skelter ba go ipotsa go dira ga le.
No, that was the time when really banyane, really vibrant, so we are full of energy.
Full of energy.
Yeah, so having said that, that was just a statement or a brief about that. But getting back to the content of the tourism, I have said, I'm a natural conservationist, a naturalist, and also an ethnologist. And I'm basically based in the Makgadikgadi Pans. So as you know, this is one of the special areas in Botswana.
Yes.
So we need to brand it as a brand, as its own destination. So thank you, my brother. I'm all yours today.
Yes, sir. Mr. Boile. It's like a mutu lo no. It's the most experienced man. Like a mutu. Let's cross our out or Kevana Boile le makwada. Say, but I came through the Rauta. You know, Mr. Boile, haler natural. Kora ha natural ke batla go tlhaloganya. Natural le rela gore lona straight re buile gore o tsotsantsa gore o guide ka wena.
This thing, it becomes out of love, and you need to be very, very, very passionate about something that you are trying to do or you are doing. And you need to have that niche market or something that you need to tap in that is very, very, very unique for other people. So now I have tapped in this bedding or teaching market, which normally, peculiarly, it's all about birds. I love birds more than any other thing. So birds are very, very, very fascinating. So in Botswana, we have around 600 species of birds.
600?
Yes. And we have 173 species of animals.
Okay.
Then 3,500 species of arthropods. Basically, that's the rubele and some beetles. Yes, but now, I will like birds.
O ranonyane.
Ke rata dinonyane
Ka bona ke bile ke ho tsena ke se ke go ile leina ke re renonyane. Ko re tota hano ka khona no go change le re leina re tsoko go B.
Yeah.
Era re
I get
nya gona mogolo ya no. What is so special ka this Makgadikgadi Pans wa bona? Gore like akere you know gore mo Botswana dinonyane di teng ra di bona. Ke eng se se ka ngoka Motswana kana tourist tota e bile a re simolle ka Motswana ga bona gore Motswana a tswa ko bokanye ko a tare o batla go bona dinonyane ke eng se se ka mo dirang gore a tena ta gona le gore a iteka sana those special birds zona le tsone tse le gore gore that unique thing se se teng makgadikgadi se se ka dirang gore motho a tabate sone gone ka wa bona gore ke tswekwa ke re nyame instead of kasana ko ile gore ke ka bona le bo di-boat cruise nyaka gore nyame why Makgadikgadi Pans?
This thing Makgadikgadi Pans are very, very, very fascinating. I will give you 3 main points that what makes Makgadikgadi very, very special or very, very magical. So this area contains what we call the phenomenal areas with very, very vast areas, which normally creates what we call the vistas and the paranormals. So these areas also, we call them the heavens on earth. Just these are the areas that you can see until your eyes can't even take it anymore. And also, mind you, this area is one of the areas that we call it the cradle of the humankind. So according to science and studies, and according to what we call the mitochondria DNA, that's the maternal lineage, shows that each and every person in Southern Africa originate from the Makgadikgadi Pans.
Oh.
Yes. Kera magabaro no tha tswa Makgadikgadi Pans.
Ora ba fana ba bantse ba re ke ba khatla ba tswa hela
the
bana le rona gone
bana le rona hela rena le bone the maternal lineage
a go re tshware gone go re tlhalosetse gore gono ha re ba tswa hamdala gongwe origin nyana gongwe la ka re vanyana hela be re boela go dinonyane.
Makgadikgadi Pans are one of the areas that normally states what we call the original of the people. So it normally reverses to what we call some years down the line. So all the people, just because all the peoples were living along these areas. So even our livelihoods shows that, that all the people comes from the Makgadikgadi Pans. So these are our life history here, which normally comes from the Makgadikgadi Pans.
Okay. So no gone ko Makgadikgadi Pans no gona le bo like merahe re ka reng nya gore ba tswa gone hela bona like more ka tare nyame ya ka go bo CKG ara ke ra setse re itse gore go tswa bona the coisins ya no ha cause na go aka nna ke itse re a ke Makgadikgadi Pans to the large area thing e Nata e Nata village ke ra go aka knowledge nyane e ke na le yone.
No, Makgadikgadi is very, very vast.
It's very vast.
It takes all you the way from here to Reikops, along the river up to Puduhudu. So they have a very, very, very large catchment area.
Yeah.
Of around 35,500 square kilometers. Basically, that's the size of France or Switzerland. So, and mind you, this is one of the largest salt pans in the world. And the largest breeding sites of flamingos as well as pelicans in Southern Africa. So this speciality or this status of the Makgadikgadi Pans shows that this is one of the best areas. So in tourism, we have what you call the circuits. So if you went to Chobe to see the Big Five or do the boat cruise, you go to Moremi, see the lions, and you know what, you need to come to the Makgadikgadi Pans. So this is the place where you can feel your adrenaline, your blood running through your veins and your heartbeat. And this is one of the best places in Botswana where you can experience all the silence, the tranquility and everything. And we have what we call the stargazing or the astronomy, which is one of the stratus activities that we do here in the Makgadikgadi Pans, where normally we do it there, where there is no light pollution. You see all the stars, all the astronomies, and all the planets that you wish to see. So this is one of the best activities that we normally use in the Makgadikgadi Pans. So there are lots and lots of things that Makgadikgadi Pans offers, provided we need to brand it as a destination on its own. Yes.
So do you guys like have the tools to use gona go bona bone bo di planet ana di resign a kana ra kana mahela re le ba go godimo bere go bonta re bona yone na letsana hele ke Pluto kana ano ha bontsha le nna ke ta go botsa re kana le na le tsone di tsompelo tsa
No, we have some equipments, but normally we just use this laser pointers just to saw those yes, but the full equipment is quite takes an arm and a leg just to see those planets and stars, just because that thousands and thousands of kilometers away from us, light years away from us. Yes.
So I know which birds can we say we can find specifically like those that are not found, maybe let's say maybe in the world, kind of maybe in Africa, but they can just be found ko go lona ko Makgadikgadi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that question. Thank you so much. So we have what we call the flagship birds. So the flagship birds of our area. The bird that normally the flagship bird ya rona mo Makgadikgadi Pans ke flamingo. Just because the laser flamingo, we have two species of flamingos, right? So we have the laser flamingo, which is a deep-killed. Then we have the greater flamingo, which is a lesser killed. Just that's because the way how they normally feed differentiate the two species, and the colorization of the birds differentiate the two species. So, and again, those are the birds that we normally see here and breed here. And mind you, this area is only the area in Africa that's the natural breeding sites of flamingos. My man, Mona, it's very, 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 very magical. You will see the pinkish to the horizon, and it's very, very, very accelerating and breathtaking, my man. Yeah.
So what I compolela gore ha ke tsile kwa tota gore hesh le nna ka go ke touch my soul being touched.
You're going to enjoy yourself to the fullest.
To the fullest. So the flamingo ya ka dile pedi yana. How can one differentiate gore no this one kiye ye?
So the two species, we have the laser as the small one. Then we have the greater. We normally differentiate with the height and also the colorization. The small one is more pinkish than the greater one, just because of the food they normally eat. They normally feed on what we call the plankton, which the plankton normally changes the carotenoids, the colorization of the birds, then it becomes more pinkish. And also, these birds, they migrate. They migrate, and this is one of the most interesting topic. The migration of birds.
The migration of birds. Di migrate kana ke gona ke batang go itse gore di migrate ke te go utwe magatonyana gore no yane tse di tswa gakala ha ke itse gore go ba maruru go le kae ka gore motho ne ke bua le ene ke ra le ka apa le ene monna o tsano ga re botse lona ba itsana ka gore le nna ke eletsa go wa bona go itse gore go utwa botho ka re ke ngwana mona ta ke tswa mona I never had that chance to go there ka ne ke sa itse wa bona. So go yana ha o ka re tlhalosetsa go no gore no yanetse kana rona re tsela re ke no yanela ke re itse re lebo wa le bona le ka moso ba le balele ke lona no gape le ha le re dia migrate le lemoga yang gore no yanetse ke tsone tse ha se tse dintsi di le teng le lemoga yang la go ta gone go bo counting gore ke batla go tlhaloganya go no ne le gala rena mere tsene mo ya migration ke te ke go tlhaloganya gore le lemoga yang gore nyame go ha go dugetse dinonyane tse dingwe le lemoga yang
right. Migration, it's one of the most important activity that normally birds do into the Makgadikgadi Pans. So mind you, our pans, they're intermittent, or creeks where sometimes they just dry off. And this season, as you can see, the Nata River is filled up, then encapsulates all the water into the pans. Then the water goes into the Makgadikgadi pans, basically into the sewer pan. So the water goes there through what we call endogenic. The endogenic process is whereby the water goes through seepage or through evaporation. So there are very important key aspects that Makgadikgadi Pans holds for the migration of birds. We have three types of migration, right? We have what we call the intra-African migrants. So these are the birds that normally migrate within our African continents. Basically, our bee eaters normally migrate in the northern part of the our hemisphere. Then we have what we call the pelagic or the Arctic migrants. So these are the pure migrants which normally migrate in the south part of the of Africa to Europe or to Sweden as far as Russia. Then we have what we call the altitudinal migrants. The altitudinal migrants are the migrants that normally migrate to the altitude of our continents. So the most interesting thing comes here, my brother Emex. So the question that normally that you asked, how do the birds knows? This birds comes here on a yearly basis, year after year. They migrate here into the Makgadikgadi Pans.
So these are like vacation.
Vacation, yeah.
No, they are part of
it. So now they don't need body passport. They just have some vacation here. So these birds, they have what we call the intrinsic knowledge or the intrinsic DNA, which is built into them as the mere human beings, as the grounded human beings. We need some GPS and we need some maps in order for us to locate these routes for the birds to come here. So a typical bird can just a typical example on an Arctic tern. That's the longest migrating birds. It migrates from the north to the down south most of the poles, which normally travels around 90,000 kilometers in a year. So coming back to your question, so these birds normally use what we call the magnetic fields that normally use the northern pole and the southern poles. And also they have built some of the birds like the pigeons. They have the magnetite in their beak, which normally magnetize with the northern pole or the southern pole. So they are very intelligent animals. That's why I liked them, just because birds can travel for over 10,000 of kilometers. Basically the waders. Most of the birds that migrate here into the Makgadikgadi Pans are the waders. And we have what we call the psychology of birding.
Waders
Waders of Botswana, these birds normally, we have what you call the wintering grounds. So normally they are wintering here, then they are breeding there. So birds normally, when it is too cold into their area, like now it's summer here, or it's autumn here, so just because it's hot, so they come here, they migrate just because in the northern hemisphere now it's too cold for them. Now they come to the southern part of the region, mostly in the southern part, like in the Makgadikgadi Pans. That's what we call the leapfrog migration. Yes. Welcome, Ghost. This is Mr. B on the line.
Mr. Cattell.
Mr. B, I'm Mr. Cattell. So Mr. B, can you talk about the planet?
Yes.
So le so ba le ntsha tourism thata kana le so le batho ba motso Nata mo le mo ka eng gape.
Lekgadikgadi la sewer pen. Sewer pen, mind you, is the mining area which normally mines this ash and potash. So there are lots of detergents made out of the sewer mine. The water that you see flows through the river of the Nata, through the gradient to the bed of the pans. Normally, when the water comes to the pans, so the mines normally abstract what we call the brackish water or the salty water. They normally benefit from there on most cases, just because the ash and the potash that they use, that normally makes what you call lots of detergents, soaps, artillery, even the defense that are done out of the potash. But I'm not learned much about the mining industry. That's why I'm too focused on two birds and
into tourism.
Yeah.
Kana gore le nna ha ke mo utwa sente gore go a go ngana ba tile go tlhaloganya gore ya ka bone di tourists di taya lona ba tourism like batho ba nna mo Nata di villager di benefit ya gore like bone di tourists tsa rona ka di tsile yana di ete di tekwane di interact le di villager like ba reka di products tsa di villager ba di services tsa di villager ba dira ba ta mo go bona go ta ba di ba.
Oh, you mean the social responsibility, tourism and the benefication, the whole concept tourism.
Le gore ke batla go tlhaloganya kere vast ya metsi kana le non to se go sta vast ya metsi isa, which means di tlhapi di teng le letella di villager tsa rona re di go tshwara di tlhapi kwa ba kgone go rekisa ba kgone go ja kana di tlhapi tseo ha di ntsa lo ke tsa tourism ano ke tsa makgowa tsa rona kana na re banna ba toine re ba ta toine
le batla go ja nama ba le so the water that encapsulates into the pans normally belongs to what we call the IBA. So the Makgadikgadi Pans are listed under the important beds areas. So that area, it's only for pets. So the water that goes there, the fishes that goes there, belongs to the beds. So coming back to your question, so when the tourist comes
so
here,
like you are not allowed to fish up.
No, it's not allowed. Yes, it's not allowed.
Okay. Yeah, no to sit ka na ne kere ke taka huku. Ke o taka le to wa rano.
Ke tse ngwe Mr. B ba re go le bo sunset bo sunrise ka re thang go rayang go dira gala ba tswana go ga go dira gala ya bo le sedimo kana bo ile sengwe kana ile kana ile mo khabisa wa le khalaga ba se le ga dikgadi kana ya.
Thank you for that question.
Kana ha go ngaka.
I get
it.
Thank you. So sunsets and sunrises are one of the activities that we normally provide as threats into the Makgadikgadi Pans or into the Nata Bird Sanctuary. So when the sun goes down to the horizon, it creates some beautiful hues which normally complements with the water and the skies, which normally creates very, 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 very beautiful colors, or the colorization when the sun goes down. And just because in the pans the sun is not disturbed by, we don't have some skyscrapers, we don't have some mountains, so you see it purely. So going down the horizon, that's the most experience or that you can ever get into the Makgadikgadi Pans, and none to that, and second none to that. Yeah.
So has it di kana re batla go itse gore has it di
magic
has magic has the power nyameke ke a utlwa nako tse dingwe ne re ete re utlwe gote kore I don't know if it's a rumor or ke nnete wa bona there was a pattern gote gate go ko Makgadikgadi go na le ko e leng gore like ga go tsamaiwe like go a welwa ebile maybe there are some people kana some cars e di wetseng ko batho ba boa kana ke sone re tsenya sedimo ana ke re itse gore ha o ile o bona kgwanyape ha o bo unless o le ngaka ka ba re Mr. B ya ga go mo ka ha o wena le Makgadikgadi le leng connected ka teng
Yeah.
ha o ka nka go nka tsa history ya ngwa madala go togeletsa ke sedimo
Coming to your question, so Makgadikgadi Pans are very, very, very rich when it comes to these ecological sites and relics. So we have about 10 of them, the ecological sites. The typical ones that we know is the Kubu Island, the Baines Baobab, the Tsanika Springs, the Chani game traps. So this conundrum of animals getting lost and people never coming back, so that's what you call the animal traps. It's just a special area which normally have this special calling. So you know that these relics or the archaeological sites, they have this spiritual callings, right? As you have said. So you need to pop out, or you need to ask the people around there. We normally advise we normally advise people. We know we have what we call the indigenous knowledge systems. So if you are a person staying in that area, as a visitor, I just need to come to you, ask you what is happening about that. You just need to go to the area unannounced, right? That's how people get lost or get trapped, just because they have this spiritual connection with those areas.
Nata river thata Mr. B
Yeah.
le ghost ka bana mogolo
Yeah.
Nata river e tswa kae ebile e na le impact e kae mo le Makgadikgadi la rona la Makgadikgadi Pan le gore e tsela bana go tse di kae yone ke e ha kae mo position ya le go tse di tshwana tse.
Okay.
mo go mama o ebile ke la thele mo potso ya gore o to hitela o so go ka Mr. Boile gore capacity ya metsi ya Nata river ya tshwara akere le gore river e benefita ya batho ba Nata tota o bona origin na no kae ke bona hela gone mdala ha ke itse gore e tswa kae.
Okay. Nata river ke noka hela e tona. So it starts all the way in Zimbabwe, in the plateau of Zimbabwe highlands. So in Zimbabwe they call it Amazanyama. It has a very, very lengthy area which normally covers around 300 square kilometers. So when it brings down, or when it goes down through the area, it goes through the Wange National Park, which is an animal corridor, the largest animal assemblages here in Southern Africa.
Mr. B
Yeah.
ko ba botsa go no e tshwabeng tshwa le gone mogolo ne go ta go tla go nyora ano ka ile ka bo Zimbabwe ba e re khonesa ke re khonesa kwa le no ka e kgolwane mo la Islam.
Nata river is recognized. It's a natural ephemeral river, the third largest water course in Botswana. Yeah, and it is fed by other tributaries, which is Saca, then Zibanani. That's the Nata river. When it goes through, then when it is encapsulates into the pans, then the rivers they become more. So then it adds that's the Nata river, that's the Mosetsi, that's the Mosope, and also other rivers. There are about 5 rivers which normally encapsulates the waters into the Makgadikgadi Pans. So the amount of water that you are asked, Nata rivers carries around 270 million cubic of water. Some of waters are lost through what we call infiltration, but most of the water is gone through to the pans, and some of the waters are increased through the runoffs from the rain. Yeah.
So this river ke noka e kgalang kana ke noka e flowang gore ke batla go tlhaloganya go no gore Motswana go ga a itse gore noka e ke noka e leng gore e kgona go kgala kana ke e flowang wa bona e tshwana le bokasane ane e sa kgaleng akere gape le gore ke batla go itse gore yone noka ya rona ha lore ke dinoka tse di kgalang a e kgala ka season efe gore re sologela gore noka ya Nata e tsisa metsi ka season efe.
Okay. So Nata River is tentatively listed as an ephemeral river or a seasonal river. So, and also it's an intermittent or a creek which normally flows during the peak of the season. So our peak season is when the rains are very, very, very high. They normally start to flow around December up to March. So this river, that's why on most cases, and it has a very, 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 very interesting effect, whereby just because the river, it has shallow gradients, that's why the most of the water runs very, very fast to the riverbed. And when the riverbed, when it is full, the currents can reverse itself. It has a very, very, very special name that people doesn't know it. The Kalahari people in the 1800s normally called it the two-way river system, just because the currents can reverse. Why it's around 1996 when we had floods. So it was full there, then the currents reversed back here, then it spreads back. So it's one of the most interesting effect that the Nata River has.
E kgona go tshela e ya kwa Ebebo.
So gona go
yes. Yeah. So the most the effect that when it comes to scientifically, the effect of the rivers flowing is through what you call the gradient and what you call the Coloris effect. The Coloris effect just because the earth is rotating each and every time. So that's why most of the when the water flows from the high levels to the lower ends, just because of that effect, just because the earth is rotating. Yeah.
So Mr. B, o go mpolele ka noka ya rona.
Yes.
Noka ya rona e go le bo shashe ke sa ba le noka e tona ka sa. Go le bo shashe bo thamalakane bo notwane bo mama mo la tsela rona botswa. So noka e tshela metsi a mantsi go di heta kana di tshela metsi a mantsi go di heta.
Nata River is the third largest ephemeral watercourse. It's normally hit by Shashe and Limpopo only, and it's number 3. So it's number 2. Limpopo is not our river here. Shashe normally encapsulates the water into Limpopo.
So no kaya mna khona tsa mata mole mantsi.
Yes.
Ka gore metsi a reverse akere. Ne ke batla go tlhaloganya gore a gona le koma go kwa kana it's natural. No ne ke batla go nthatswetse ka gore na le Motswana go ga kwa re confused re ipotsa gore ha metsi lo ra reverse a le la le koma go ka go le kgadikgading go hello.
Mind you, Makgadikgadi is zoned. We have what we call the zoning, and the zoning of the Makgadikgadi Pans when we're doing this Makgadikgadi management framework. So the zoning, we're doing the 945 meters counter line. That's the highest point. Then the lowest point of the Makgadikgadi Pans is the 935 meters above the ground. So all the areas that is around 945, they're along the lines of the Makgadikgadi Pans. So the Makgadikgadi Pans start from CT11 around Duki Veterinary Fence up to NG34, that is around Boteti and Pudhudu. They are very, very, very large. So it covers all these large areas. Just because the pens, just because of those ecological or morphological diversions of these rivers on those yesteryears. So there are some areas where they normally ends when the water filled up, then the water can reverse itself back.
Mr. B.
Yeah.
Mara mme o nang kola dinoka tsotlhe bo sa bo semoane bo mosetsi bo dukwe.
Yes.
No ka boteti yone ga e tshele metsi mo teng ga le gadikgadi yone le rrangolo.
Thank you so much. Mind you, we have two pens. We have sewer pen in our eastern side, that's we call it eastern sewer. Then we have Nata pen in the western side of the country. So the Boteti River is the one which is normally connected to the Okavango Delta, which normally flows into the pen. So Boteti River is part of the Makgadikgadi Pans and also part of the Makgadikgadi. And since what I have also forgot, we have what you call some SADC water call protocol, just because the Nata River starts all the way from the other country. So we have some protocol that we normally share, or we are treaties to them. So Nata River is among that rivers that is also among the SADC water protocol that we signed with Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Going back to the Nata River. Kana go ha re bua ka Nata River me ha re bue ka batho ba Nata. Me kana bona batho ba Nata ke bona ba dira Nata River gape.
O ntsalo.
Ya no ne ke batla gore go ga o kana nkola ka motso wa Nata River gore how does Nata River benefit these people ba Nata again? Go kgone go highlight nyana jo tse ile gore ba benefita mo go tsone. Jaaka o relate a seasonal river again. Ne ke batla go itse gore the advantages tsa yone ha ile dry le ha ena le metsi. Gape le dikganyana tse dingwe ha re itse gore a kere bo gore batho mo metsing batho ba kganelwa yang gore ba ska ba helwa ba affectilwe ke metsi.
No, thank you. The livelihoods which normally Nata River provides, so one, it's source of water. So you know that we are farmers, and we have cattle. So most of the cattle drink the water from Nata. Fishing. So most of the people, they fish around Nata River. So as you know, we have this barbel fish which is temi, and we have bream in papara. So those are two species of fish that we have here into Malishengora.
Ra leboga Mr. B for the information. The information ha go ene le tona mogolo le yone tota. Me before re tswala show Mr. B, what are the last words o ka di bolelang batho go gae ka?
All right, no, thank you, Emax. What I can say is that Nata is very, very rich. We need to tap in this market. It's very, very inherent with lots of attractions. But very, very, very great for having me, and I'm very, very, very happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for tuning in to our second episode. We want to take this moment to thank everyone who subscribed to our channel. Thank you guys. Continue with us as we'll be hitting you up with our third episode. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and invite others. Gore le bone ba tse information e monate mo go rona. Ra leboga.